I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is the Stoneopolis mod pack. So now, over the last couple of episodes, we have progressed our way all the way from just stone to what you see behind me. And well, now we have the ability to, for example, process with alloys. We also have the ability to access the magical side of things with blood magic. And I've even made myself a little farm over here. But yes, I promise this is for industrial purposes only. This is going to grant me, well, plenty of string with a farm of this caliber. And once these are all fully grown, this stuff grows really fast. And that's great because we are going to need a ton of these fibers to produce string, as this string can then be used to make a mesh. And this mesh has 160 uses versus the, well, underwhelming 96 that this offers. And so that mesh is going to really propel us forward. Now, before I jump into the next chapters, I do want to basically say thank you guys. Thank you for all the support on the last couple of episodes. I really do appreciate it. I was kind of concerned whether or not you guys were going to enjoy this style of video again, as it's been a really long time since I've played a mod pack that was reminiscent of the olden days. You know, it actually feels really weird calling it that, but basically what I was trying to say is that it's been kind of refreshing. So now, with all of the sappy chosen out of the way, let's go ahead and dive back into the quest book. And today we're going to be diving into the Bronze Era, and this is going to hopefully be a chapter that we can easily cover and also move into the Friends chapter. From the looks of it, this might be easily done. Now, the Bronze chapter seems to follow in a sort of parallel progression. So the left side is pretty much parallel to the right side. And so what does that mean? Well, it does appear that it means repetitiveness. But because we have automation, I don't think this is going to be that bad. And last episode at the end, I ended up showing how to set up the routing from the Blood Magics mod. So I should be able to easily modify my setup that we have back here to be able to support the new things that it wants us to make, aka the Void Copper Nuggets. And these are going to be Void Nuggets. We do need the tier 2, which we're currently at, and these are going to run through and produce Void Copper Nuggets. Now, it also looks like the tin over here utilizes the blood magic as well, at least getting started. And these are going to be the mixed stone nuggets. These are what we actually get from the gray colored leaves. I can't get away from these things. So judging by the progression line here, it looks like we are going to take those nuggets and combine them into a void copper nugget. And then that void copper nugget needs to be broken down inside of a strainer with the pure water that we currently have. Now, after that's done, it looks like we are going to basically have copper nuggets once we actually smelt our copper dust. And from the looks of it, we can use copper dust to make an orange sapling. And the orange sapling does appear like you have the ability to sift its leaves. Now, I haven't unlocked it yet, so I still don't know, but I'm kind of guessing that this unfamiliar item is actually those leaves. And we will eventually be able to sift for these a little bit easier. So we won't be stuck for this forever. It doesn't exactly mention that in the quest, but judging by the way the quests look and kind of peering into the future, which I don't know if I should be doing or not, it does appear that way. So I guess I better get started, and thankfully I had preemptively set all of this up. So I've had my furnace running here, automated with our resource generator, and also had a bunch of coal in here that has been constantly pumping into this. And that has provided me with a nice sustainable amount of void nuggets, at least for right now. So I should be able to take these void nuggets, and I should hopefully be able to convert this into my first copper nugget, or a void copper nugget. And so there we go. So now I have a void copper nugget, but I do want to show you how you can adjust this whole setup here to allow it to automate other things. So all I have to do is pull out my standard filter, and for this main one, we're going to have to make sure, yet again, that I set this to 1 to make sure to regulate it to 1. And then we just simply need to upgrade all of our filters, or update all of our filters. For example, this one is just going to have to be able to pull out these void nuggets. This is going to have to be pulled out, and we can actually take both of these out, combine them together to make it a little bit quicker. And this is going to get the output. I think I kind of messed up here on these filters, which is easy to do. Instead of the void nuggets, I actually meant to put the, instead of the void copper, these are actually meant to be the void nuggets. But there we go. So that is now fixed. And did I accidentally filter that one wrong? I did. So yes, this is going to have to be filtered correctly. At least we get to see it more than once. But there we go. So now that that's done, we should have everything ready to go. I just need to simply access that, this one, Okay, I think we're good. So as soon as I put these in, this should now start to automate them. I hope that wasn't too confusing. You know what? If you're confused right now, rightfully so, that was a horrible explanation. But that's okay, because we're going to have to do it again for another material. And that is going to be for the void tin nuggets. Yeah, we're going to have to do the same thing for these mixed stone nuggets and the tin. I think for right now, I just want to get the copper out of the way first. So perfect. Now that the void copper has ran its course, I can go ahead and get this started while we start to process some of these other things. And so yet again, I will show this. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this to 1 on the entry. And these are the things that we're going to be sending in first. And then the rest of it is going to just be pretty normal. So that's going to go in there. Pretty straightforward. This is the only like tedious part I think about this sort of piping mod. This is a very interesting way of doing it, I guess. The fact that you have to kind of filter everything. Now, I still haven't made this yet, so I probably should place that in so I have something to filter out. But now that I have it filtered out, I can take both of these, and that should be it for these two. Perfect. So now I should be able to just toss these on in, and there we go. More automation. So that should have been hopefully a little bit easier to understand. Now, if you missed the prior video, something I do want to note, these are all linked together, and they're all linked to the main master routing node. So if you happen to miss the last episode, that you wouldn't have actually seen that, and you can now visually see, once we have our node router, you can see how they are all connected together. So believe it or not, that 1 stack seemed to be the perfect amount. So you should be able to grab a sapling here, and I should be able to upgrade this into an orange colored sapling. And then I just need to simply smelt down my 3 copper dust here, and that's going to lead me into making a bucket. So I'll definitely be able to make a bucket, and it looks like once we get that, we'll be able to get ourselves some life essence in it, and that will allow us to use and sift our saplings. So now at this point, you may be wondering why this pack doesn't have a way of automating the saplings. And to that is actually what we're going for. Believe it or not, in the quest, we are actually making our way towards the garden cloche, and the garden cloche will give us the opportunity to actually start automating our saplings and generating our leaves via that method. Oh, and that's going to be fantastic. So really up to this point, it's all about the journey of getting to there. Now, of course, in parallel, just like the other side, we can also use our tin to make ourselves a light gray colored sapling. And now both of these quests are optional, but I do want to complete them for both. I do actually want to make a copper bucket, and I also want to make a tin bucket respectively. And then I want to fill both of them with life essence like it shows here. And to be able to do that, we just need to place it in, and it's going to take 1 bucket out. I honestly wish we could just scoop it out, but that's not exactly how it works. It would be kind of interesting though. I do know that you can actually pipe the fluid out of here. The problem is actually when you try to pipe fluid back in to the altar, that's when it has kind of a slow input rate. So something to definitely note later on if that becomes a way of automating, but I don't know. So now that we've gotten that in place, it's probably best to go ahead and get our strainer set up, and we just need to place this life essence on top of the strainer, and that should allow us to, for one, farm the orange leaves, and then we also should be able to farm the light gray ones. And so I already have these already set up and ready to go. Just need to place the source blocks on top, just like that. And now we also have some buckets, so we can actually move water around a little bit more effectively, which is a nice thing. But we can also go ahead now and start to farm these leaves and trees. So man, I definitely have my work cut out for me now. And while I'm farming up those trees, I can go ahead and start to alloy these two things. That is definitely one of the processes that we need to do. So I can go ahead and start to get those, and these alloyed together should make bronze, as we can see right here. Now, sifting these is so much nicer. Now, I don't think it's a guaranteed 100% chance. No, it's a 60% chance, but still, that's better than probably going through this process and constantly needing to eat. So now I'm definitely spending some time making some copper and some tin, but from the looks of it, we are already ready to go to make what appears to be a coke brick oven. And so we should be able to make this. Now it does give us 9 of them, and in total we need 27. So that means in total we should only need 18, and for each recipe we actually get 3. So that means for each of these items we're going to need to do a process 6 times. So this should be quite simple. We're just going to need 24 clay balls, and then we're also going to need 18 sand, and I think I have all of that ready to go. If I take a look over here, I should have plenty of sand. Ah, yes, way more than we actually need. So we're gonna need 18. And then as far as clay goes, we definitely have that as well, as we only needed 24 exactly. And as far as the nuggets go, we have 4 ingots here. So just 1 ingot's worth of this should get us everything we need for a coke oven. So let's go ahead and grab this, put everything together, just like so. By the way, I can actually just go ahead and hold and drag it around. And I think that's enough. We're actually missing, oh, we're missing 1 more nugget. So we actually need 2 ingots worth. And now we should have everything. Perfect. So there is the 18 in total, and then we should get the rest of our 9, and we actually get even more bronze for that. And so 27 coke brick is what we need, and then we need our engineer's hammer, and then I just need to place in, for example, right here, this coke oven. And so this is a 3x3 multi-block. There's going to be a lot of multi-blocks that we're going to get into in immersive engineering, but this is probably some of the simplest ones. We have our 2x2, and this one is going to be our 3x3. And when we right click in the center, bam, we now have a coke oven. What a classic. But we can't use the coke oven just yet because there's a couple of things we still have yet to do. And that is actually make coal. And so to be able to make mini coal, apparently we're going to have to take our mini charcoal and send it through our blood altar. Yet again, another thing that we have to add to the list of filters on our automation. So now with all of it inside of the filter, I can just toss in my mini charcoal, and now this is going to start consuming that essence, just like that. And perfect. Now we have some mini coal. So now with the mini coal, we can take this and convert it into regular coal, and then we need to pop it into our coke oven. And this is going to take a little bit of time, but it should produce some creosote oil and is also going to produce some coke or coal coke, which we're going to be able to use potentially later on. I would assume the use for coal coke typically is to make steel, but I don't know in this particular pack, as you can't really see just yet what it's all going to be used for. Now, this is going to start to build up with a bunch of creosote oil, so I definitely want to make sure to fill my buckets with the creosote oil. And thankfully, we can actually use the tab feature to be able to auto refill this. So if I take this out, if we were just to use, for example, this 1 bucket, I can go ahead and fill it up, pull it back out, and then open this up and just hit tab. And that makes it so much faster to actually craft a ton of these creosote planks or these treated wood planks by doing this. We don't have to manually place this in. So already we are about to complete this quest. All we have to do is basically grab that coal coke, and we are going to have the Bronze Age complete already. So let's pull that out, and voila, I think we should have this done. Are we missing one thing? Oh, that's right. We do have these sections here that I almost forgot about. That's right. We have the copper mesh that we have to make. And then we also need to make a single block of copper and then convert that into an apprentice orb. Ah, so this will be the final part of this chapter. Look at me getting ahead of myself. Tisk, tisk. So I guess at this point we can go ahead and actually complete things. So this has then processed up, and I now have my mesh, and we get a bonus mesh. That's actually kind of nice. It's 5 ingots of copper. It took a while to actually get all of this copper. And then I need to take this and make a solid block of copper, now leaving me with 1 ingot left from all of the tree harvesting and stuff that I did. So I need 5 buckets worth of life in here. Okay, I'm gonna get that to 6 just to make sure. And it's just a waiting game, really, because it is pretty slow. You can actually see how quick it is whenever this starts to fully drain down. When it goes below 1 full bucket, or when it goes below 1,000 millibuckets, you can really see it start to drain. But yeah, it's pretty slow without acceleration runes. But you know, in all honesty, acceleration runes are nice whenever you have a massive full complete setup. But early on, it can actually cause you a lot of pain. Honestly, that pun was 100% intended. And with this, we should now have a fully complete chapter. Oh, now we're out of the Bronze Age. Look at us go. Now, for my next magic trick, I am going to be summoning mobs. Believe it or not, according to the quest. Now, we're moving into the Friends chapter, which is actually kind of nice because I do need some company. Even though I'm on a server right now with several people at this point, it's still pretty lonely. I need a couple of pets. So we should be able to actually do that with the summoning block. So the summoning block, it says can be used. We can actually hit U on it to see what all we can summon. And so it does say unfamiliar at the moment. I think as soon as we actually complete this chapter by crafting it, it should unlock what we can actually do with it. Now to make this thing, it does require some void ingots and some bronze, and it also requires a single bucket of life essence. So thankfully we already have all of that. So just like that, and a little bit of this and that, bam, we now have ourselves a summoning block. And can we actually see the uses of it now? Yes, so now we can actually see all of the individual things that it can actually summon. So it can summon slimes, it can summon cows, summon wardens, pigs, believe it or not, it can even summon rabbits. Looks like all kinds of stuff. So what are some things that we need to summon? Well, I believe it's telling us to, let's see, void copper nuggets can be used from the summoning block, life essence, below to spawn an endermite, and endermites drop ender pearl fragments. Oh, nice. So I'm guessing we can use ender pearl fragments to craft ender pearls. And it looks like that's true. And that is going to lead us into some cactus, bamboo, and sugarcane from crafting a sapling with some ender pearls. Okay, so we've got to get this bad boy set up, and that way we can start spawning in some lovely endermites. Now the summoning block doesn't make this very clear on how it actually functions, but I will go ahead and show you. Basically what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to place the life essence that it gives you, which I think you can use any life essence, but you need to place that underneath the block. And so once we have that in place, if I go ahead and break this, place the life essence, it's probably best actually if we place the block down and then place the life essence underneath, then it should work. And it should not actually consume the life essence, I don't believe, on the operations. And so we are going to need to use those copper nuggets. And so I have some of them processing up. And whenever we use this on here, it's supposed to spawn in an endermite. Oh, look at there. Look at this cute little guy. Oh, look at this ragdoll. Just, oh man, he completely ate it. But there we go. We got ourselves an enderman fragment. And can we spawn multiples? Oh, we can. Oh, nice. So we can definitely use this right here to spawn in some mobs. That's great. I almost wonder, oh, I'm going to die to this guy. I almost wonder, we could probably use this, I guess, with the other type of runes as well, if you really wanted to. I mean, honestly, how dangerous could this possibly be, spawning in a bunch of these things? Yeah, probably not that bad. As long as you stand on a couple of blocks, it'll make that a lot easier. So I'll just chomp away at all of these guys. And I should be rolling in the ender pearl fragments. And when I say rolling, much like these guys do whenever they kick the bucket. Oh my goodness. And perfect. I now have enough for 4 ender pearls with a little bit left over. Now I am going to need to craft, or not really craft. I'm going to have to take out more of these guys. But this at least gets us the sapling that we need. So we'll end up getting ourselves a green colored sapling. And that unlocks cactus, bamboo, and sugarcane for us, allowing us to add more things to our crop area. And with this tree, I can now live out my dream of eating a green apple. Ah, delicious. A little bit tart, however. So after a little bit of sieving of all of the greens, look at that. We now have tons of sugarcane, we have tons of cactus, and we also have tons of bamboo. And I can use all of that inside of our grow room. I just now have to add some sand and also some dirt for the bamboo, and we've got to get some water setups for growing more of the sugarcane. I mean, eventually we won't really need this room as much, and it might get converted over to a garden close room, because that's ultimately what we're going for, is the ability to be able to automate all of these harvestable materials. So I really feel like we're moving along here, and we're about to jump into, it looks like, lapis and redstone production. So I need to make these geo fragments, and these require the ender pearl fragments mixed with stone pebbles. And so I should have plenty of stone pebbles, and I have a little bit of ender fragments. I don't know if this is going to be enough, but I'm going to have to mix these together. And so this is going to give us all of these fragments that we can make. And then I apparently turned this with some stone. Okay, let's use those. So we can make a cluster. And then we can also craft a couple of these empty buds. And it looks like we get a little bit of extra for doing this. Ooh, nice. We get some nice extras here. Okay. It says it can be used inside of a garden cloche to grow crystals. Okay, so this is going to be a method, I guess, later on that we're going to use inside of the garden cloche. Ah, I see here. Okay, so that automates lapis and redstone for us. Now, we also have this budding block charm. And this right here is surrounded by runes from blood magic. And this apparently allows us to pick up if we misplace these budding blocks. And believe it or not, I just so happen to have 8 runes ready to go for this. Okay, so I definitely want to make that. I'm going to put that in my charm slot. It looks like we can actually take this out and make sure that's in there, just in case I make a mistake. And it does look like moving forward, we can make a cluster grower. When used on budding blocks of lapis or redstone, they will grow a crystal that can be broken into So this will forcibly grow on the budding blocks. Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, so we don't have to like kind of wait around. We can just straight up go for it right now. And this is just another crystal with some sticks. Okay, we don't want to use those sticks. So just some regular sticks and we should be good to go. Okay, so I'm going to grab a couple of oh, we have sticks in our inventory. Plenty of sticks in our inventory. And then we'll put that there. Because we don't need that item just yet, but we definitely need this. And then we need to actually make the budding blocks. So it looks like this combined with a bucket of water inside the alloy kiln makes the lapis one. And then, so the redstone is just on a tier 2 altar with 1000 LP. Okay. And I think we have all of that ready to go. So I'll go ahead and place that on there. That's going to turn into the redstone one. And then we need a bucket of water. So I'll grab that. And we are just going to mix that with this one in the alloy kiln. And we're about to have lapis and redstone automated. I can't already at this point, I am pretty excited about that. And so this one is now done. And I can go ahead and grab this one as well. Perfect. So now we have lapis, which I'm going to go ahead and place these down. It doesn't matter where I put them because I can go ahead and pick them back up if need be. But now they're placed down. And if I go ahead and use this new cluster grower wand, I can forcibly grow a cluster. And then when I break this, do I get lapis? Oh my gosh, we get direct lapis, no processing needed, and redstone. Oh, this is great. Okay, so what does this mean at this point? Well, apparently now we're able to make this lapis stone alloy, which inside of a kiln is just the redstone and lapis. And then this is what's going to allow us to activate our lava motron. And apparently the lava motron generates lava for us. So when farming these, just like our other setup, all we have to do is put this in our offhand. It looks like it works in our offhand for lapis, but it does work on this as well. You just have to hold down shift in order to get it to work here. So let's go ahead and toss the ingredients inside of here, let that do the whole processing up. And then I need to start worrying about how to actually make the lava matron. So this is going to use, it looks like our bucket and a little bit of that lapis alloy underneath to get that going. And then we also have a little bit of a slide off over here that's going to work our way towards apparently unlocking iron. And yet again, more of those void nuggets. So that's why I was like, definitely worth automating those void nuggets, if at all possible, as early as you can, because we're going to be needing quite a few of them. Oh, and by the way, apparently from the quest rewards, we end up getting given 2 of these. So that makes it even easier to grow these because we can grow both of them and vein mine them. Perfect. And by the way, for the lava matron, remember those deep slate pebbles from, a few episodes ago? Well, yeah, they're making their return back, and we are going to need deep slate in order to make this. And it does have to be smelted deep slate. It's weird that I have to preface that, but both of their textures look very similar. At this point, lava matron, here we go. And we now have the ability to start making lava. So if I go ahead and place this down by default, it's kind of pretty confusing interface at first. We have 2 different modes. We have a toggle the liquid mode, which currently toggle liquid mode is on, but if we toggle liquid mode off, it's going to actually generate these thermal shards that we're going to be needing in the future, apparently. So these thermal shards, if I go ahead and I put in the alloy up here, this should start generating those shards. And so this is what's going to generate lava. And then we also need to give it some sort of fuel source. So for right now, I should be able to just put the mini charcoal in. But I'm guessing that if you were to get a bucket of lava out of this, that you should be able to take that bucket of lava and, well, put it back in here for burn time. Now, I don't really have a way of testing that just yet, but maybe in the future we'll give that a shot. Now, in the meantime, what I should be able to do is start processing down into iron, and it looks like that is going to be pretty straightforward with our void nuggets and also our lapis nuggets. Now, while I was working on some other things, I didn't realize apparently this needs to say toggle liquid mode on, which means it's off by default, and I accidentally turned it on and it has produced 4 buckets of lava. So I guess at least I have some liquid lava, but now it should start to produce those thermal shards. Now, in the meantime, to finish up this quest, we are going to have to do a few little wonky things down here, but it does show down here that we're going to need nickel, aluminum, and silver. And if we take a look at the way we actually get these things, even though they say unfamiliar, we can still see that we need white leaves for this. And for this one, we are going to need gray leaves. And these are processing inside of the iron mesh, by the way. And then down here, it looks like we are going to need light gray. So I have all of those saplings ready to go. I just have to farm a bunch of leaves from them. So now with my iron, I have all of my leaves prepped up, ready to go. And I have 14 iron, which is going to allow me to work on this little section here, which shouldn't take too long. And I also have some of the thermal shards, and I really like this because this is basically like a bucket of lava. And so these will actually stack in here. This is very, very nice. So stackable lava is perfect. Now we also get some extras here. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make the mesh. And while these are processing the leaves, we can actually start to work on this little section right here, which looks like it's going to lead us to a heart amulet. But I did read that this says drops from pigs, and I really don't want to have to kill pigs, but unfortunately, it is going to lead me to do that in this particular pack. Please forgive me, everyone. They're just too adorable in a normal world to kill. I don't want to do this. So I just got to make the iron mesh, and we should be just about ready to go. And boy, oh boy, that unlocks some stuff, didn't it? Now, the iron mesh, what does it actually need? It just needs water to make the nuggets, I think. So I might be able to just get rid of one of these meshes to end up processing this stuff. So we just need a few of these leaves in here. I can do like a stack at a time. And that is going to at least, I'm assuming, it's going to basically show us, hey, here's how you can get these particular items. So yeah, this process with just some regular water. Okay, so yes, that's going to be running. And there we go. There's a silver nugget. And this is the white version. And so I'm just going to actually let these process up after getting at least one of each. And something to note, is this a 100% chance? From an iron mesh, it's still a 60% chance. And so there's the aluminum version. So we have silver, nickel, and now aluminum. So I'm just going to let these run and continue to process up. In the meantime, however, I do need to make a canister, and this is going to require pig iron, which is going to require iron, more of the iron that we currently have. And not only that, but it does appear like for this miniature heart from this pig right here, it does look like the pig itself, if we take a look, is summoned with a pig iron block. Sorry, pig iron ingot. So I guess with that, we can go ahead and make the 2 pig iron, and I want to go ahead and summon the pigs. And so there's one pig. Should be able to move you. And we can summon another one. And I want to go ahead and grab some carrots that we have, and we should be able to breed these guys real quick, if I have any carrots. Interesting. It doesn't look like I currently have carrots, but I should be able to use some of my B-bucks to actually buy some carrots. So I'm going to go ahead and take that and also plant these bad boys down and start bone mealing them. Now, even though I can bone meal this, we don't have right click to harvest. So I do have to kind of break these, it looks like, which I mean is fine. So at least if I'm going to be taking these guys out, I can at least make sure we have more of them. I mean, honestly, look how cute they are. How am I going to be able to possibly kill these guys? All right, so I guess now at this point, now that I have enough iron sort of saved up, I can go ahead and do this. I need to make another pig iron. And so that's going to give me the 2 needed. And I need to make this canister, which is actually going to require it. And I think I have just about all of the ingredients for this. Let's go ahead and grab stuff out of the lavamatron. I think I have those. Okay, so now we have 12 of them, and then I just need to combine that with a bunch of iron. Well, that's 6 iron for the canister. And we do get given 2 more canisters, which is nice. And I think on the regular red hearts for this heart amulet, you would actually need a stack of 10 heart canisters to be able to get another full set of 10 hearts, which would be very, very nice. But that's what this is working towards, and we'll eventually get there. But just to be able to complete this particular quest line, it shouldn't be all of that difficult. So now that we have the heart canister, we then need to add a actual heart to this. And so that's going to complete 2 of these quests, but we're actually going to need 2 hearts because this one right here also requires a heart. But at this point, we now have all of the hearts unlocked, so we can actually see them. And well, because we only used 1 of the pigs, I guess we could go ahead and spawn another one. And I guess this one we can hopefully get a heart from. Oh boy. And there's some pork chops. And I guess your sacrifice number 2, because we need 2 hearts. I am so sorry you did not see that, but we still have 3 more pigs, so we should be fine, and we should be able to gather more hearts from them later. Hopefully we can use some other mod though, or mob. But anyways, so at this point, after doing the ultimate dirty deed in my book, I guess we can go ahead and combine these. Okay, so we need this. That's going to cost a lot of bronze, by the way. And then we also need to move into the heart amulet. So now this should be almost everything needed for the final chapter. And right there is our amulet. And by the way, we can open this up and put a heart canister in there. And you can stack up to 10, I do believe. And as you can see, that gives us another heart. So if you put 10 in there, we'd have an entirely new row of hearts, which is great because that's going to help us with blood magic. But over here, we should have all of our nuggets, and I think that we are almost complete with this particular chapter. Is there anything we missed? Oh, that's right. The only thing we're missing is adding another color sapling to our list. And so, with just a few more lapis, we are on the road to having the Friends chapter completed. Oh boy. And there we go. Wow, okay, so we are definitely progressing quite fast in my opinion. So at this point, we're almost there. We are now on the road to the heat power section. And this whole chapter, which we're going to work on next episode, is going to lead us into guard enclosures. And guard enclosures equal automation, baby. So now with all of that, I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. Hopefully you're enjoying this nice throwback to a good old styled mod pack. And well, with that, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a good old thumbs up. And also, it's now time to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks, by the way, is going to go out to Captain Salt Dog. Thank you so much, by the way, for your amazing support by choosing to support me over on the Discord and supporting in one of the best ways possible. And with that, I thank you guys so very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Be sure to comment down below what you enjoyed the most or what you hated. And well, as always, thanks for watching. Bye!